Good day, everyone. I welcome you to another episode on Love With. I'm Elizabeth Ife-Adetona. Quickly, today we will be looking into the latter part of knowing the right spouse. I told you that knowing the right spouse does not answer to spiritual side alone. There are also physical criteria to reach to getting to know the right spouse. And on the last episode, I've discussed 4 points. I've mentioned 4 points to us. The next point, the fifth point we'll be looking at today is the emotion. Emotion, that is how the person God is leading you to, how well can they handle or manage their emotion, especially the negative emotions such as hatred, fear, anger, especially. How well can they manage their emotion? It is very, very important. Mind you, if they cannot manage their emotions well, it should not send you off track. It should not chase you out of God's will. Once it is God leading you to them, they could be helped. Somebody like me, I was a kind of perfectionistic. I want everything to be done right. I want everything to be well arranged, to be well placed, and I get angry easily if you are not doing what I want. If you are not doing if you are not doing things how I want it, if you are not putting things in place the way I would like, I get angry easily, and several other things like that. I have this negative, I can't manage my anger. I get angry easily. And my now husband, then fiance, he didn't run away. He stood with me. He helped me overcome the challenge, because it was actually a challenge. He helped me overcome it. And come to think of it, who will meet up with such a high standard of mine? I have several standards that I have laid down. I want this, I want that, I want such. And it's my fiance then. He stood by me. He helped me. In fact, he prayed for me on several occasions. After I've get angry, scattered everything, he several times held my hand and prayed for me and talked to me. Okay, I began to work on it as well. And here I am, I've become a better person. The point is, in as much as the person is ready to change, in as much they are not trying to tell you, oh boy, oh girl, you have to accept me the way I am, that is who I am, and that is how I want to do my thing, you are sure in a safe hands, in as much as they want to change. And the next thing I would like to mention, point C, is their cognitive, that is their intelligent ability, their reasoning, the way they think, and all that shouldn't as well pose a challenge, because you are not actually going into the relationship or into that marriage to compete. You are going there to complement each other. I would like to cite this example as well. I'm a kind of person that once you tell me something, I find it difficult to forget. In fact, the slightest conversation I remember until I decide to erase it from my memory. My husband is not like that. He just be like, oh, that I've forgotten. But I respect his wisdom. His wisdom is such, I can't imagine it. I usually remember something, and in our home, at times when I have to bring up issues like, oh, have you forgotten this, and you'll just be like, okay, thank God you remember. Okay, let's do this, let's do that thing this way. He uses the information that I can easily access, that I can easily remember, and he used the wisdom to just place everything and put everything in place, and we find things easily for us because I'm able to remember things and he is able to place them rightly as they ought to be. I believe you understand that. What I'm saying is, you are not going into the marriage to compete. If the other person is weak in some areas and your strength, you have strength in that area, it is okay. You don't expect them to match up with you, because you are not actually going into marriage to compete with each other. If you are weak in some area, they are strong, then you come to meet in the middle. And the last point I would like to mention is the moral. Is moral. Some people, they lack moral. Probably they choose to live that way, or they are brought up in such manner. It happens some persons, probably through the way they are brought up, they lack some etiquette, they lack some morals, and some persons, they just choose to live that way in their own life. They could also be helped in as much as they are ready and willing to change. They could be helped. We have sisters that they are too saucy, and in fact they take glory in doing such. They will tell you, so person, okay, let me help you handle the person. I can talk. I will talk sense into the person. I will do this. I will do that. It happens. And we have brothers also. They usually get the fault in the aspect of eating. They could also be helped in as much as they are ready to change. Mind you, know that change is gradual. It is gradual, and you have to celebrate every change that occurs in them. And I would like to tell you that you shouldn't get married to a baby. And as well, if you are going into relationship as a guy or as a lady, you should know that you should get some level of maturity. By the time you get engaged or you go into marriage, or those people that are married already can testify to the fact that maturity has a big role to play in relationship, either in courtship or in marriage. What the A to Z of it is that once the person is ready to change and it is God that is leading you to them, you are good to go. Let me tell you this one thing before I end this episode, and that thing is that if the person you are trying to help overcome their negative emotions, their challenges and all that, you should help them to some extent. They must change to some extent before you go into marriage. And if they are not ready to change, you might have to go back to God in prayer. If they are not ready to change, you might have to have a rethink. I believe you have been blessed. That will be all on knowing the right spouse, both spiritually and physically. God bless you.